The unemployment rate for this demographic sits at 80%. Joining us now is a familiar face, Bill Strazzullo. He often joins us to talk technicals, but today Bill joins us to talk NUpath, an organization that prepares adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities for private sector jobs. Also joining us is Elder Soares, Director of Day Services with NUpath. Welcome to both of you. Bill, what led you to this passion of yours to help people from the disabled community, people with developmental or other disabilities, find employment?
Well, first of all, Kyle, I wanted to thank CNBC for this great opportunity to come on and advocate for adults with developmental challenges, things like people on the autism spectrum, people with Down syndrome, and most importantly, address the business community. As you said, we had a great non-farm payroll number today, very strong. And as you and Kelly have reported on for months, tight labor market, particularly at the lower end, a lot more demand for entry-level jobs than supply. And what we want to get out, myself and Elder and the people of NUpath, is that there's a whole hidden pool of labor out there, millions of people in this country that would love those entry-level jobs that, you know, for them, it's a life-changing experience. And for the corporations that hire them, they're going to get somebody that's hardworking, loyal, trustworthy, and somebody who's not going to jump from job to job. And so I saw an opportunity as a business person to step in, and I looked at the disparity in the unemployment rates among the disability community and the population as a whole. And I said, it just doesn't make any sense. I knew I could tie the two together, that the business community would love to have a whole new pool of labor, particularly at the entry level.
I work myself with a charity in northern New Jersey with which Kelly is familiar, that we have a large presence in housing and helping people with developmental disabilities. Elder, so this is a passion of mine as well. Elder, what percentage of the people with developmental or other kinds of disabilities are truly employable in the kinds of jobs Bill was just describing? And there are probably some percentage of individuals for whom employment is not really a legitimate option.
Yeah, like Bill said, that, thank you for having us and the opportunity to give this presentation. I think the numbers, it's hard to define a clear number, but I feel like the numbers could be a lot higher, through the programs that we're having, really getting people trained, out in the community, volunteering, working, and having job coaches to the capacity. So, the numbers right now, probably around 70%, of our people could definitely be employable. Mm-hmm. We do deal with a variety of challenges when it comes to people with medical needs, one-to-one support. So they really require more intensive staffing supports. So yeah, the numbers can definitely increase on our part, just with the job that we're doing here at NUpath and other agencies alike.
Elder, let's say you had, a child with autism, a female asking for a friend, and you wanted to think about, okay, to explain how exactly does this camp work? What are the options available when we're talking more of the intellectual disability and not the kind of physical disability side? As we know, these numbers are on the upswing. So I'm curious how you can play a role in transitioning people to what kinds of work exactly.
Yeah, so for us too, it's getting the word out there into school systems, the turning 22 population. So myself and the crew, we've been really going out to the schools and educating the schools on what it's going to look like, and then Bill and his team with the job coaches, this is the 11th year with the job camp graduation. So it's really an eight-month course. It goes through skill building, interview, resume, how to dress, money banking, so it really coaches our people how to get prepared to venture out into the business world. A lot of our people, going way back, they haven't had these opportunities. So really just getting, we provide job coaches. Yeah. So these job coaches are helping people. They're not leaving them out at the job. They're helping them, support them one-to-one at the job until they feel comfortable with their employment.
If you don't mind me asking, how much would something like this cost? We're talking 8 months for people whose care might, require high ratio, say a lot of professionals working with them or what have you. I mean, that sounds like a pretty big investment. Who is making the investment and what kind of investment is it?
Yeah, Kelly.
Yeah, so
sorry, Elder, go ahead.
For us, so we're funded through the Department of Developmental Services in Massachusetts. So a lot of the funding comes through them. We do have fundraisers that we raise money to support the cause, to be able to prevent, have initiatives like Job Camp, because the money isn't always there at the state level. So it's a lot of advocating, to the state level, to state reps, representatives in different facets to be able to get the money to provide these top of the line services, to our people.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much. Bill, let me fit with one quick question here. I assume that you not only coach the individuals with disabilities, but you must coach the families as well. Quickly.
Yeah, I mean, for a lot of the people who have come through the program, working is a totally new experience for them. So we really welcome the support and collaboration of the parents and let them know that, it takes a while, but we will eventually get them in a job. And these are life-changing events, Tyler, for these people. And so we've had a lot of amazing transformations here and a lot of job placements of people that we were told never that would never happen. So we're almost done with 11 years, and we hope to have many more years to come. It's a great program.